Hi, this is Jim Sporer with ISSIP, and I'm doing a very quick rehearsal recording uh, of the upcoming Progress Update with Board event that's this coming Wednesday, January 28th. So I'm just going to go through the slides. The slide deck is being sent out in advance to help people prepare for round robin discussion. So here we go. Um, the um, Michelle, our executive director, is going to kick us off. This is the agenda. We probably won't spend more than a minute just welcoming a few people because you've got the slides in advance, and um, we want to get into the round robin discussion. Uh, Haluk Demirkin will make some opening remarks, and he's our new president. Haluk Demirkin is with Amazon. He's a professor at University of Washington, Tacoma. He's our president in 2026, and he's also a founding board member. And ISSIP's been around since 2012, so he's been around for 14 years. Many of the programs that ISSIP has, Haluk built. So when Haluk goes through a number of things on this slide, it probably will take a few minutes because he's going to also talk about not just congratulating things, but he's going to talk about some of the vision for the future. And one of the things that came up for 2026 that's going to be a priority for ISSIP is this 4-fee credential for service innovation curriculum. Uh, we're going to thank Jeff Welza and Vanita Wells, who were board members the past couple of years, and welcome two new board members, Jan New Hutler from Fraunhofer in Germany, as well as Jeffrey Borak from IBM. We're also going to welcome Christina Yang from IBM. She's the vice president for 2026, and we're also welcoming a few new people to the ISSIP Strategy Council. Volunteer recognition. Hopefully some of these volunteers will be on the call and can spend a couple minutes talking, introducing themselves to the community. David Ng and Gary Metcalf led a very successful Systems and Service Roundtable series, and Kevin Clark and his colleagues ran a really great event in March, as well as a treasure hunt. And Frank Mellis from Smart Bio has created a challenge in conjunction with ISSIP. So hopefully we'll be learning a little bit about these ISSIP ambassador-led events. There'll be some volunteer recognition, many familiar faces here, conferences, white papers, other activities. Christina Young, who has led our ambassador program and of course is now our VP 2026, will welcome our new ambassadors, and hopefully some of these ambassadors will be on and be able to introduce themselves. Again, it's going to be round robin. We're going to have an hour, so probably a minute or two per person, just a chance to talk to people and know there's real people. Michelle has got this slide. She's made a recording of it, and I think if I click, it's going to play. So let me just play Michelle's recording of this slide.
Hello, I'm Michelle Carroll, Executive Director of ISSIP, and I'm going to share with you some key metrics of our performance in the past 6 months and years. Our goal is for our growing global community to leverage ISSIP platform and programs to amplify your work to benefit our interconnected world. We measure that progress in terms of the size of our global community, the engagement level of the people involved and organizations, and the funding level we're able to achieve to enable our operations and programs. So, starting with funding, the very good news is that every 2024-2025 donor partner renewed for 26, most at increased levels of funding. And we secured 2 new donor partners, much thanks to Haluk Demirkin for signing with Sound Credit Union and Obase, who were both 2023 Excellence in Service Innovation Award winners. And for this year, we're welcoming our first innovation level partner at $10,000 with Fraunhofer Institute's Jens Neuhutler, who joins the board of directors with ISSIP mission aligned goals that we're excited to support. He'll tell you more about that today, I'm sure. Our first ever President's Ask of individuals for contributions to sustain the heart of ISSIP in the fall of 25 generated a little over $3,000 from individual ISSIPers around the world in quantities of $100, $500. So much thanks to all of you. Your generosity and support is much appreciated. So all of these logos you see at the bottom of this slide are our institutional members: Fraunhofer IAO, the Institute for Service Design, that's Marcus Varg's organization, Penn State University, Engineering College, San Jose State University, and University of Washington, Tacoma's Business Analytics Club. We thank you all very much for supporting ISSIP community and our work.
Okay, and the next slide, I believe, is also Michelle's. So let's go there. This reports on growing number of participants.
So our semi-annual progress calls are typically focused on the progress and achievements, recognition of great volunteer work in the past 6 months. But as we are recognizing outgoing President Deb Stokes of Dell Technologies today, I wanted to just make a note that 2024 and 2025, the full 2-year term of her as president, were strong growth years in important ways, both growing awareness of ISSIP and growing the size of our community, and in strengthening us in ways that are critical to sustaining that growth and achieving it over time, which she has called the scaffolding for growth, which we'll talk about more in our June progress call. Things like documenting service roles, the guidebook, improving onboarding to the organization, and automating where possible, that Jim has been so extensively involved in with quite a few folks that we'll hear more from in June. But turning to our size then, in the blue bar chart below, the blue line shows you the total number of global participants running from 2021 here on the left to now, January of 2026. And you see that we've continued at that steady rate of growing membership that ISSIP has enjoyed for all of the years of its existence. In red, in the red line, let me note that we did just cross the 2,000 member mark at 2,043 in 76 countries now. So, and it's roughly half US and non-US. The red line is LinkedIn followers, which were at roughly 552 in 21, 22. And we've been growing that one at a much steeper and exciting rate of growth as awareness of ISSIP builds and people outside the original community are joining in. And that LinkedIn total is 1,597 today, up sharply. And you see a nice little surge here in 2023 when we piloted, and you'll hear more about from Deb Satterfield, the AI Collab service offering that involves all those organizations that I cited on the last slide and the students and employees and teams involved in those organizations, plus our increasingly large number of active and wonderfully engaged ambassadors. Now we're also promoting on this yellow line, you see the membership in the LinkedIn private group, and that is now up to 743 members. And if you have not already, please do follow us on the main ISSIP page and join the private ISSIP group if you haven't already. This is where you're welcome to post and share your work, do surveys, announce events important to you, share knowledge you would like the community to know. ISSIP itself announces partnerships, collaborations, key success stories, recognizing people and institutions from the main page. And that the yellow there, the separate entity, I see that isn't showing up on my slide. Let's see if, here we go. So you see there's a main page that's got the blue box. The private page in yellow is where you're welcome to post your work and share whatever is going on of importance to you relative to service design, innovation, science. And one caution I dropped in the blue box here that I just want to put out there so we're aware as we go for next year's budget. We rebuilt and optimized our website in 2024, optimized for search engines, and we continue to rank in the top 10 listings for service innovation, which is great and on target. But it was in the top 5 in 2024, and now we're number 8. SEO takes daily committed focus, so that requires either a skilled volunteer or some budget is going to be required to get that done. And my final.
Okay, and we'll go to the next slide, which has the continuation of that recording. And I think Michelle recorded it.
Measuring engagement, it's great, exciting even, that there are more of us. Registrations for events and views of those events and talks on YouTube and SlideShare are up. More than 600 folks tuned in to watch the recording of our last progress call, in fact. But I want to point out a critical improvement in the past year on deeper engagement driven by our very capable and impressive leaders who happen to all be ISSIP ambassadors. So David Ng and Gary Metcalf ran the roundtable on service systems. Kevin Clark with his customer fitness event in March. And that amazing group, Kazuyoshi Shimada, Christine Leitner, Deb Satterfield, Lou Freund, Jim Spohr, and myself were organized and put together the talks for the ISSIP session at HSSE last year, the AHFE HSSE event, Human Side of Service Engineering. And that is fantastic work to position ISSIP out there as the community with expertise and knowledge in service systems, service design, service innovation, and critically important. And we thank all of you for participating and leading and managing those. And it's happening at scale in some efforts. Frank Mellis's ISSIP Challenge, the Smart Bio ISSIP Challenge, engaged more than 26,000 students at CUT, the Central University of Technology in South Africa. And there's a report in this package from Frank on that. Founder of Smart Bio and winner of the Excellence in Service Innovation Award last year, the overall award. And with purpose, Kevin Clark, with his team in the fall of 25, his team, Mike Wing and Chandra, the whole UX team, generously gave of their time and use of their UX platform to enable all of ISSIP everywhere in the world to participate around the clock, 24/7, over a period of days in October. And they monitored those replies and inputs in the wee hours for the treasure hunt that you see a report in this packet from Kevin on sharing, where we were all sharing ideas and input for ISSIP strategic planning going forward. Those were impressive and important projects led by volunteers. And Vaishali Main, who we shared last year, had piloted the Give, Get, Grow quarterly gatherings, has now really established that into a program, a sustained ongoing program of quarterly ongoing connection where all new members are invited to come in and get an orientation to ISSIP and connect with each other And all of you are invited to meet them and connect with each other on that quarterly basis. You'll see the dates for those on the calendar slide, which is up next, my last. This is what we mean by volunteer-led and managed, which we are. And we have one employee, and that is myself, our executive director, at budgeted right now at what Deb has called the dental floss level. We can say that the patient is stabilized, and we have sustained our funding level at that 20% time, 1 day a week for an executive director, and then covering systems costs and legal and accounting. Basically, that's what we have. That's a little less than half the budget we would like to be operating at, which would be a half-time executive director, because we are volunteer-led and managed, but facilitating those connections and support. So I wanted to say that is what we mean by volunteer-led and managed. And meanwhile, while all of that was happening, as you see on this, the bottom row, left to right in blue, you published 8 books in the past 6 months, bringing this total ISSIP collection with the free guidance to ISSIP community and mentoring by Jim Spoor and Luke DeMerkin to 113 total now in that collection. We're welcoming a net 25 new ambassadors for 147 currently active in total ISSIP ambassadors. We awarded 159 digital credentials in the past 6 months for nearly 1,964 total digital credentials issued. And you'll be hearing more about programs going forward for that. As we work on building awareness and growing the funding for ISSIP operations, we're equally working to better connect with each other and amplify your work, leveraging the ISSIP platform to make the difference you're seeking.
Okay, thank you, Michelle. And just moving through these slides. As Michelle mentioned, this is the calendar for the year. Again, you're going to have a link to all these slides so you can, and there'll be a link to download it to PowerPoint and a link to our slide share. So you'll be able to study these slides in advance if you want to prepare for the progress update call, which is more of a round robin discussion. Deb Satterfield from Cal State University Long Beach is our leader for the academic industry collaboration. I just want to say that there's these 3 steps she's outlined: an easy step, a medium step, and a hard step. And there's an engagement blog post and survey. When you get the slide deck, all of these are underlines or links, so you can actually go out and check them out for those interested in really exploring this. This is the AI Collab work that I've been doing with different universities, and you can see it's been going along a few years now. And for each of these completed projects, multiple student teams created white papers and deliverables, and there's blog posts at the ISSIP website for these. And for the lucky San Jose State University teams each year, we go to the Computer History Museum, which is a lot of fun. But we have teams from Penn State University and University of Washington, Tacoma, and of course, Deb's group down at Long Beach. Haroon Abu leads our recognition awards program. In 2025, we had different winners. Overall winner was Smart Bio, Frank Mellis's team. Cisco won with Impact for Business, Curious Learning, Global Literacy won for Impact on Society, EarthGrid, very innovative new energy drilling technology, won for Impact for Innovation, and there were 8 distinguished recognitions, and we've got 14 submissions coming in for this year that the judges will be looking at shortly. Michelle mentioned Vishali Main and our quarterly community welcomes. Vishali has a book if you read this blog post, if you click on this link, you can go out and read a blog post about our most recent quarterly welcome, and it talks a little bit about Vishali's book and several other things. But I think the main thing on this slide is that by running these quarterly welcomes, people can join and get to know each other, and it's nice when we get that human-to-human connection. And we've got this one quote, ISSIP makes me really feel welcomed, which was great. Um, from the treasurer's report, we're about the same level as we were last year at this time. So as Michelle and Deb Stokes called it, we're at the dental floss level, which is sustaining us. Our budget goes basically 75% to our executive director and her staff for the website, the newsletter, managing all of these events and making sure people get connected and that we do the operations we're supposed to do. And then 25% goes to like the accountants for the taxes and some of the platforms and conferences and our ISSIP Foundation. These are this is all the individuals who sponsors and donors for funding that helped raise the 33,000 that will sustain ISSIP at the into 2026 and make sure that we have a part-time executive director. So thank you all. I could thank you each individually, but hopefully you can see your pictures here. And Also, I'm really excited, and I'm just going to wrap up. Again, this is just supposed to be a short overview. You're going to have the slides, and you can go through them and ask any questions you want in the progress update call. But we are really excited that 2026 will have our first ever for-fee certification in curriculum for ISSIP. And Luke DeMerkin is and Andrea Bianchini, one of our ambassadors, are taking the lead there. But I did ask our executive committee, the board, our president, vice president, and executive director, and past presidents who form our executive committee what their favorite topic on service innovation was. And we got quite a great list here of things, a few with links out to our website. And then they also mentioned textbooks and books and articles and communities and case studies. So we'll be integrating a lot of this into that certification and curriculum program that is going to be developed this year. So little by little, this is a reminder for everyone who participates in the community to take a look at the handbook. It's a great summary of what ISSIP does, all the programs, platforms, and everything, as well as a link to making sure that you've signed off on the code of conduct. And with that, I'm going to stop this recording and thank you all for taking a listen to this advanced progress update recording, as well as taking a look at the slides so that when we go into the meeting on Wednesday, January 28th, with the board and the president and others, we'll have just a really good roundtable discussion. As always, please contact Michelle, our executive director, michelle@issip.org, if you have any questions. And that's it for me, Jim Spoor, on this quick overview recording of the upcoming progress update call. So I'll go ahead and stop the recording now.